It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Texans and the Silver and Black. And it comes your way next.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the Houston Texans
and the Las Vegas Raiders.
And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Stadium. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They'll lead the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Desmond King back deep.
And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked down inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Near his goal line, here's Mills.
Out to the left, he's got his tight. And right away, he lost the football. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. There are 2 runs that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in the meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Here's Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks, 75 yards. And the Texans are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now Carr. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, now Carr. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
What now?
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Carr.
And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half. But the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. Carlson able to put this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
And now out comes Houston.
And, Charles, the name of the game last time, efficiency. Their very first snap, they connected for a quick touchdown.
They get more value than just the points from that series as well. Only needing one play, it keeps the entire offense rested up.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their 25-yard line.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Throwing, Mills. To Pierce, they set up the screen.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Play action now, Mills. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Mills.
He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That's underneath to Pierce. And he is going to have a Texans first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
He's going to find his receiver, Chris Moore. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way way down inside the 20. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. It's a gain of 35. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Again, it's Mills.
Flushed out right. Now the ball comes loose, and the Raiders pick it up. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
He sets to fire deep, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He's going to take another shot here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's going to let it go again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. On the return, it's King. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
A first down throw for Mills.
They dial up the screen here to Burkhead. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover, but I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
And this one is incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Houston. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call in the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And the half will begin with a touchback. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops.
Pierce has it knocked loose.
And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half of their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Now it's Boulder. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Shotgun now for Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And the Raiders are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Here's Bolden. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brandon Bolden taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Raiders use the short field to get in for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dot. Always a fan of the dot. Carlson on for the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
Houston set to take over.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
That play blown up on a really nice effort by Jerry Tillery.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, it's Mills.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they They just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Carr.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. On 1st and 10, Mills. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Play fake, Mills. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line.
Mills now. This will be caught downfield by Moore.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And they'll throw again. Here's Mills.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Raiders pick it up. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, man.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. are going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
So here's Mills and the Texans.
Down by 10. A minute 25 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out.
Mills back to throw.
That's complete to him. And he loses the football a second time. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Raiders are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Mills. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.